Now we're recording. So the other thing I played around with was the ad agency, the marketing company I worked with last fall challenged me to find some way to break through the virtual barrier to have things that interacted with our clients. And so if you watch, again, the Twitch streamers, they have little sprites that go across the screen, like a turtle shell from Mario Kart, or they'll have like a gun blast or something like that. And it's to break that fourth wall. Like if something fun happens, then you should have something fun happen on your screen. And so Skip's trying not to laugh at me because when I push this, and he is a shark that'll like swim by.
Yeah.
And
It's a giant whale.
I can celebrate with somebody when something good happens, and I can press a button that puts fireworks in the background, like yay, we hit our goal. I also have a happy birthday one, but I don't have that one tied into a sprite yet to celebrate. But like having different things like that to kind of like have it throw up, like, we hit our goal, Q1 goals met, and have a thumbs up or something. And what that does is it kind of like it kind of breaks through that wall as a celebration. And it's like a free kudos, a great way to upgrade your presence so that people are talking it out now. So rather than just watching a screen, they're seeing something. When you watch a news channel, even a super professional like a CNN or something like that, they still do little things like this. They have emotion that goes across the background. Breaking news, it flips up. When we have a ticker that scrolls across the bottom, you'll see like new things come across the bottom, or weather profiles or anything like that.
Yeah, I like, and obviously I don't know whether to apologize for this or embrace it, but, those of you who've worked with me know I'm full of these catchphrases, right? And I'm considering like that little stock ticker that goes along, conversations, not presentations, it scales or it fails, no minute like the last minute, whatever, it just kind of reinforcing some of the,
maybe I should come up with a Skipism ticker for the bottom.
That's it, exactly.
Any member of our group can have the ticker that goes across the bottom. Skipism.
Skipism. Yeah, I'm full of them.
Yeah, so things like that endear your clients to you. They don't have to be gimmicky. You don't want to make them too cheesy. You just want something that distinguishes you. Some of you are probably looking at like kind of smiling and looking at what I had with my Game Boy or with the fireworks. But, what is something super professional that you could have that's up there? You can go to Fiverr and have your logo turned into like a spinning logo if you want. It doesn't cost that much. And so you could have it so that when you press a button or when you hit, Alt-I, that your logo spins and it just catches people's attention. So if you're in the middle of a 15-minute presentation and people are going to nod off because it's boring, you could do something like that and just everybody looks at the screen, what just happened there.
Yep.
So with that, let's move on for our agenda today. Enough of Adam's dicking around with OBS. So today we're kind of talking about what is going on now. It's been a while since we've really touched base on the way things are shifting in our culture. And it's happening week to week. We're starting to see a little bit more gaps between serious changes. The big one that everybody's concerned about right now is what's going on with PPP. With the end of the 6 weeks or the 60 days is coming up pretty soon. How is that going to affect businesses? Are we going to see people shift into a second wave of cancellations and tightening the belt? Or are they going to now have established a norm and are going to have more confidence in how they're moving forward? And because of all these quick shifts that are going along, you kind of want to have a group of people to talk to. And so you guys are bouncing ideas off each other so that you can be on top of this. Like what's going on in New York? What's going on in LA? What's going on in Oregon? And being able to cohesively approach your clients in a way that's meaningful. And that's where Skip is going to talk a little bit more about those peer groups and kind of what's come over this last week and how that looks. So take it away, Skip. Take it away, Skip.
Yeah, and just to clarify for those of you, we do have a lot of clients. I was chatting with some guys from Japan earlier. So we do have quite a few worldwide clients. The PPP is the U.S. stimulus package put out by our government. I know various governments around the globe got some, form of that. Some parts are applicable, some parts are not. So, we're really trying to come together with everyone and, maybe find some common ground, maybe find some recurring themes and really kind of help some things out. So we did get a little bit of response when we talked about this last week. So I appreciate those of you that reached out to me. So we have just a few spots left open. We're gonna limit this group to 5. So we have just a few spots left open. If you want to get in on that, let me know. We're structuring right now. We'll probably have a kickoff session. And then right now we're looking to have probably meet every 2 weeks, but we'll figure out what works. If that's too much, not enough, we'll go over that, and just try to get a good feel for where everybody's coming from. So, as we participate, it'll kind of make sense. But some of the key initiatives we're really gonna be looking for, we wanna know how to set the narrative. We kind of need to walk through that. Sometimes I think we know it, we just need to say it out loud. It's really kind of interesting on that. So, how are we going to frame those engagements? The delivery of that, who needs to be in the room? What's the tone on some of that? And then the follow up, what's our cadence going to be going through there? So a few key initiatives we're going to tackle there. We'll probably get a little technical. I'd feel bad if I didn't. I kind of got back to my roots somewhat, but Adam has brought up I think a really good point. We need a reintegration list, So, but what goes on that, So we'll kind of pick everyone's brain, come out with that, some tools, recommendations, tips, tricks, stuff like that. So those are some things we'll cover along the way. But at the end of it all, we want to be very strategic. We will have our 3.0. We'll probably rebrand it. It'll be the 3.0 version of our COVID report, but we're gonna pivot. We're gonna move on to either business continuity planning, a BCP, or we're gonna do remote workforce initiative or something. Again, we'll figure that out. And some of the strategies to really make that report work with your clients. How do we need to bring this up in the future? What's the cadence of future meetings and stuff like that? Also, I want to drive into the budget. I've got some good ideas on the budget, I think, of how to work that with your clients. But I want to talk that through with you guys and get some good feedback and hear what you say about that. And hopefully, what my plan is on this is together we can come up with a really good strategy on how you can help your clients put a budget together for a remote work initiative, something that makes sense for them, that works for you, and is going to help the businesses out. So, through that, we can set expectations and really kind of drive some common goals. So that's what we got going on right now. Again, we have just a few spots available. So if you want to get in on that, email us at coaching@virtualc.biz, and we'll get that together. We're going to try to launch soon. We're kind of putting it together quick. We want to be.
I would like to see it start in June.
I would too. I would too. We're right there. We're trying to be adaptive. We can plan. Adam and I can plan and create stuff. Forever. But I think that the time to strike on this is hot. Right now, and so we want to move pretty quickly on this. But I don't want to leave anybody behind. So we're trying to balance that out. So again, message us just as soon as you can, and we'll get that up and running.
Yeah, and what is the thing we're trying to build up about this community of Humanized members is we used to be called the VEP, the VCI Excellence Program, but we've shifted into that Humanized brand. And part of that is like you guys talk to Skip and I about so much. Every day I have a conversation with a different MSP. Every day I am talking either in Slack or I'm talking via a quick chat on a Zoom call. And I learned so much. Here's the problem. I don't run MSPs. I never have. I came from the corporate world. I will strategize the crap out of any technology portfolio at any company. Just give me the company and I'm good. But I don't know the nuances of running an MSP. That is what you guys know. And so I get all these tidbits that come towards me and all this information comes towards me, and Skip will get something completely else out of the conversation because Skip does know how to work in an MSP. He does know the nuances of MSPs. And so when we have these conversations in the community, I want to open up the information so that you guys can talk to each other and that you guys are catching things that I don't. I can only share things that I think are important. But every once in a while, Skip will be like, oh, did you catch that they said this? I'm like, I did not. What's the importance? I'm like, well, and then he'll go off on a nice little explanation of what that means to an MSP and how that really helps engineers focus or helps ticket flow or things like that. And having these peer groups like this is different than a really high-minded one where we're talking theory. We're talking about actual practical. How do we talk to our clients? And having you guys feed each other, and then we working on us working on the background, building something concrete and process driven that you can repeat. But we've got to invent this stuff together. You guys are running MSPs all over the world. We've got people in Ireland, South Africa, Australia. You know, we need to know, like, what are you seeing and how are you adapting so that you can get tips and tricks from each other. This is more about the community than it's just about a tool. So getting in on this peer group you're going to be like one of the first. You're going to be cutting edge. I would love to have like 10, 15 of these peer groups going at a time where we're feeding each other information and we're building something better than just sharing our books and what kind of margins do you have, but actually, like, how do we get this shit done? How do we talk to our clients? What's actually working out there so that we can have a great conversation that works with everything else we're doing, either with Evolve or with our local peer groups or our companies.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Skip, went a little long on that.
No, that's good. That's good. Like I said, I do get pretty passionate about this, and you know, I really like kind of diving into this with you guys and understanding what's going on. My personal connection to that, I'm still saying we when we talk about MSPs because that's just kind of ingrained in me. So I'm happy to do that. It's exciting stuff for me, and I think we really can coming together. We can accomplish a whole lot.
One of the other things that kind of has come up in the last few days, just as I've been reaching out to various clients and members, is a lot of you feel a little lost on reintegration strategies. And I've been getting emails and I've been getting people asking me different questions like, okay, how do I reach out to my client about this? Or should I be worried about the way they're working from home? I think my most recent question was somebody's asking me about how to secure a connection to home workforces like that. That's what their stumbling block is, that they run an airline manufacturing parts and they want to know, like, how do they do home inventory at home in a secure way? And I said, well, let's talk this through. And it took time to talk it through. So what I'm trying to get at here is that you guys seem to be having lots of questions around this. Get one-on-one time with Skip or I, or the other thing we're trying to do is we're trying to build up a coaching program. So for those of you who want to be an early adopter, we'll give you a break on it just because I want to figure out how to do this. Is a coaching program that's not built around VCIO so much as we will help you and offload the analysis of your clients over the next few months so that you can reintegrate smoother. So we're going to take things off your plate and we're going to, like, okay, let's talk about 6 clients this week in our session. We're specifically going to talk about these clients and what we need to be focused on them, create some action items. Next week, we talk about 6 more. How many can we do in a session? It's probably going to depend on the size. And so that's what's kind of come up in the last couple of days, because I've had so many requests for information on how to reach out. Should I send them this report? Should I be talking to them about improving their home PCs? Should I be talking to them about security at home? What should I be talking about? And what are my low-hanging fruit? If you want just directed support on it, if you just want Adam or Skip's ear, just to talk you through that, just get on a coaching program and we will completely focus a Trello board on how to reintegrate your clients. We'll come up with a list and we will work through that list of what your topics are, your action items are for each one. The hope is at the end, you will come out with a list of projects that are going to generate revenue to help cover the gap for the project loss last month. That's the goal. So anybody's interested in that. This is more than just coaching. I don't know what to call it. This is something that where we are actually going to be doing work with you and for you.
Yeah, and so let me jump off on my, I guess this is my sermon time here. So here's your sermon.
Oh, no.
End. Yeah.
Hold on. I got to crack a new soda.
So,
okay, I'm ready.
You know, the whole issue of reintegration, the remote work initiative, I mean, all that's going on right now, if you're building, if you're waiting, if you're trying to manage your business so that you can go back to the way that things were before, I can't say it any other way than you're doing it wrong. Okay. And I mean, I usually try to be a little bit more.
Jeez, man.
I'm trying to, soft glove it a little bit more than that. But, the fact of the matter is the world has changed. It's not going to go back to the way it was. And we have an opportunity. I just can't stress this enough. The opportunity that we have to come out of the data center, to come out of the shadows, to really now I don't know, I sound more like a Lord of the Rings sort of deal here, but take our rightful place at the table when it comes to helping businesses out. We can really step up and do this. And I know lots of you look at that and go, hey, I'm a techie turned businessman. I don't know how to do that. And I would disagree with you. I would say you're wrong again there too. I think you do know how to do it. Right? You bring a lot to the table, so don't sell yourself short. You may need a few tools. You may need a practice session or two. You may just kind of need some bumpers on the bowling alley lane, right? And we can help with that. But this is the time, so Adam, what, got me thinking about this was, what to do about securing that, that company you were talking to, about the inventory and all. We're going to have to redo all of our customers' policies, their IT policies. Okay. They've probably had something in there about remote work, but it doesn't match up with expectations in today's. So we need to revisit that. Well, I've written a lot of policies, I have to admit, and I have yet to do it and enjoy it. Okay, it has been
no one likes
it. Well, your clients don't like it either. So, but again, we're probably the most qualified to put that together. So why don't we create a template? Why don't we get a base one? The SANS Institute's got some great templates. We can go out there. We can do, download those. It's 90% of the work. You go in, you do some wordsmithing, and you got a policy. And then you can go to your clients and go, look, you really need a policy. We have one for you. Look this over. If you need to make some changes, we can do that. But rather than asking your clients or waiting for your clients to realize this need and do the work themselves, and then come ask you, hey, is this technically right? Will this work? You need to shift that around. You need to get in front of this. You need to put this out in front of your clients and say, look, you guys need to update your remote work policies. Here's a template. Look this over, see if this works. And this is one of the elements that's going to get us out of the data center and sitting at the boardroom table. We're going to be able to have discussions with key stakeholders in their businesses to help drive the business, to help them grow, and not just be the vendor that says, what do you want me to do? It's just the guy who, open a ticket and I'll do whatever you want. And that's not the business I think we need to be in. That's not the future of MSPs. There's always going to be those kind of guys around, I guess, but they're only going to, make some really small margins, and it's just not a good business to be in. So, I would really encourage all of you to step up. Now's the time. And I'm glad to help. So reach out to me at coaching@virtualc.biz. If you want to dive into any of those topics, I would love to go down that path with you.
I am so going to build up a pulpit now.
There we go. All right, build it up, shoot it to me.
I'll shoot it over to you.
I'll make a scene out of it.
I had to find the classic. I was trying to find the old fashioned, like just the lectionary from like a college hall or something,
Uh,
so that every time that Skip gets on a nice little rant, we could throw it up there.
all right, so growing up, my dad was a pastor, a lot of really small churches, and so just kind of growing up there, I spent lots of time playing up on the platform, and supposedly there's I think it was in one of those really really old reel-to-reel videotapes, but supposedly there's one of me when I'm a real little kid banging on some sort of little homemade pulpit,
Hey, we'll have to find that.
yeah, being a preacher, so. A little different message here, but I don't mind the preachy stuff, I guess. So
Yeah, I think you've got a good point. Like what drove Virtual C to start creating these processes was when I was in corporate IT. It did not take somebody business minded to come with a business solution. There's a lot of you on this call who are thinking I'm just a technology person, or I don't know this stuff, or I'm not a technology person and I don't know how to get people there. And when I was in a corporate environment, I would take a level 1 tech and I would just send them on a ride along with either a police officer or a lineman or whoever, whatever, send them out into the call center. It doesn't, whatever company I was working for at the time. And they would come back with all these ideas. It had nothing to do with their business acumen, had everything to do with the fact that they were talking to the people in the area, the people out on the ground, and connecting dots. And that's how we do it. And that is what the value add is that for some reason we have abstracted ourselves from the business and we are just solving problems in our little silo. And you hear this from business advisors all over the place where they say silos are killing our businesses. People are working in their silos and they think they're doing great, but they're just burying their companies because they're not talking across divisions. And there's all these team building exercises and there's all these great ideas on how to get people to crosstalk. End of the day, it's the technology offices that need to be doing it because we involve ourselves in everybody's business.
Yes.
Us and finance. We are the two divisions that everybody talks to. And we have to take that first step. It is on us as an MSP, as a contractor. It is on you. You are one of the few people, one of the few businesses in the world that touch every aspect of a corporation. It's on you to show them how to break down those silos. And that's where VCIO services come in. That's where the Humanized IT framework comes in. So you're auditing across all the divisions, and then you're presenting to them solutions where they can work together to come up with a better solution. And one of my best examples is when I worked for a marketing company, we had a problem. I think we talked about this on the podcast somewhere, where it took about 18 hours to run a query because they ran large data sets for big banks, and it was just the way the business worked. They knew that they started this on their laptop or they started on their big behemoth PC and it would run overnight and it would come back in. And if something happened that night, if some error happened, they just restarted. And so at the time I was building up a VMware server with, quad core Xeon processors. Skip knows something about those. And, I talked to the statistician. I said, hey, why don't we run SAS on a VM? Let's see what happens. And the first thing we discovered was, one, SAS is a bunch of dicks because they locked their licensing into the OS version. So if they saw that was a server license, then it said you need the server version of the software, and it would not let you install the client version on there. So we then installed Windows XP, or was it Windows 7 at the time? Can't remember. Installed it on a VM and got this thing running. And it took him like a couple hours to run the same query. And his PC wasn't locked up while he did it. This changed the turnaround time for the clients. This changed the amount of the quality work that got put out. So now if they made a mistake, it wasn't like, okay, is it worth 18 hours to correct this? It was oh yeah, just rerun it. And all of a sudden, the entire division of statisticians were all running their stuff on this server. And we were saving so much time. We were pushing out so much more work. It had nothing to do with my understanding of what they did. To this day, I have a hard time understanding how polygons work and how the routes were mapped in the advertising software. I can't tell you to this day how it worked. All I know is that I was talking to my friend in another division, and he happened to be working on some stuff, and I'm like, why don't we just throw that on a VM? And this product came out of it. You can do the same thing. You just got to be in the area when people are talking about their business. Like, why are you doing it that way?
You have to understand what their problems are, understand what their challenges. You know, I don't know where it became popular in the MSP community, but I think just about every MSP or every sales representative from MSP has probably said this at some point. What's your pain point? Or if they don't say that, they say, what keeps you up at night, right? Where did we pick up this? I don't know. Somebody tell me, did it come from Ingram? Was it some sort of venture tech deal, or was it an HTG thing? I don't know, but it kind of spread, you know, across our industry. What keeps you up at night? And right. And when we ask that, what are we doing? We're selling backup solutions, right? So, well, but it was a process that we didn't follow through on. We heard someone tell us a gimmicky, you know, kind of phrase to do, but we really need to follow through on that. What really does keep our clients up at night? What are their pain points? And when we listen to that, then we can begin developing solutions.
So where this segues into what PPP is going on with PPP right now, and what's going on with the reintegration, is that you need to understand what the pain points of reintegration are, because there are several that you do not know about. Some of them are concerned because they didn't get the revenue they wanted to make up for the revenue loss in April and March. Some of them are concerned about how to get people to come back on site in a safe way, how to work in a hybrid situation with PCs at home and PCs on site. There are a multitude of questions that they're asking themselves that they're not asking you, because they don't know that it pertains to you.
Yeah.
They'll eventually say, oh yeah, let's just get everybody more laptops. But if you're sitting there going, hey, what's your pain point with reintegration? That is what you need to be talking about now. Because right now, in the next 2 weeks, your clients are making some big decisions that you do not want to be omitted from.
Right.
Especially around like, hey, PPP is done. A lot of people, you know, myself included, we're expecting another government push for the summer to get us through into the next quarter. It's not happening as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
What we're seeing is some like leeway around what you're using the dollars for. What we need to do there is understand and empathize with our clients and help them move to that next level. Help them understand, okay, what does this mean? How can we use the resources that we have to overcome these problems? Understand their problems so that you can pitch them solutions. And if you don't know the answer to their problem, just write it down anyways. Take it back to your team, see if somebody else knows an answer. If you're a non-technical person on this call and you don't think you can come up with a solution on the fly, that's fine. Be a scribe. Be a documenter that says, hey, I talked to this company and I noticed that these were their problems. Their biggest concerns right now are with how do we get our product out to people in quarantine? How do we reintegrate our staff back on site? How do we move to a distributed workforce? Write these things down, take them back to your technicals team, and get a meeting together and talk it through.
And you'll be surprised at some of the ideas that come up. I mean, IT guys are good at solving problems. Let's just solve business problems as well. I mean, we're good at solving technical problems, but I think we can solve business problems given the right information. We can solve business problems as well. So here's a litmus test for you. All right, right now, if your clients are telling you how they're going to reintegrate, if they're saying, hey, we've made this decision, you need to make this happen, you're a vendor. All right, flat and just plain and simple, you're just a vendor. But if your clients are involving you, all right, if they're bringing you into that executive level decision where we're discussing, hey, these are the challenges we have. What are some options, some avenues to make this work? What would be the pros and the cons? If you're involved in those discussions, you're a partner. All right. And so you need to decide, where do you want your business to go? Do you want to be the vendor? Do you just want to basically give them a portal login and have them create tickets for you and just kind of follow along with whatever they decide? Or do you want to be the partner that gets involved in the discussion? I can tell you with a great deal of certainty that if you're the partner, your margins are much better, much, much, much better. If you're the vendor, it's a race to zero in your services. So just
you'll always be small margin, yep. And who can get the smallest margin, and that's why in the MSP world it's an M&A market now.
That's right.
Everybody's trying to undercut everybody else, and the only way to truly undercut is to have larger quantity.
Yep.
So you can provide premium services. You can provide larger projects and see some massive revenue. We have seen our clients do it. We have seen our members in this group do this and report higher profits because they had a better conversation.
Yep.
It is common amongst our members in this group. And if you're not seeing those yet, reach out to us and get a meeting with us one-on-one. We'll see what's going wrong. Where are we missing the boat, and how can we get on it? Because it is working. It is part of who we are as the Humanized membership, is we are creating more emotional relationships with our clients. We were actually involved in their success, and it's increasing profits for us. And they couldn't care if they had the lowest price right now. They know that you are helping them drive profits, and that is irreplaceable.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a level 1 tech, an admin, or whatever you are, you have something to offer these clients. You just need to get in front of them and have the conversation. Ask the question. You have to kick off the conversation because they don't know you're capable of it.
Yep.
So use this time of uncertainty to reach out to your clients and say, hey, can we talk through some of your reintegration pain points? Can we talk through this and see how we can help out better? And you're going to get a great response from your client because you're already doing business with them. You might as well do smart business. And so now they're going to say, yes, we would love some advice. We would love some help doing this because they're all desperate right now. There's a lot of fear out there where businesses are going. And you want to be one of those people who's providing the solutions. And you will have a client for life. So that's all I have for today. Just understand that the next 2 weeks are going to be very rough for your clients. Several of your clients are panicking right now. They just want somebody to help them and give them some confidence. Maybe you're panicking right now. Reach out to us at Virtual C. We'll definitely help you. That's what we're here for. That's part of the membership. We're not just here to give you some fancy reports. We're here to help advise you and help you create a better narrative for your clients.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Skip?
That's it. No, looking forward to, it's a lot of change. But to be honest, if we were still operating on, old Pentium machines running Windows XP, with 10 gig or 10 megabit, let me dial that down to the right metric there, the 10 meg Ethernet, and if everything was still the same as it was in the 90s, we'd all be going bored and bonkers out of our heads. I mean, to be honest, as an industry, we thrive on the change. So let's embrace it. I mean, things are changing right now. Let's embrace it. And really, now's the opportunity to jump out and excel. So I really want to encourage you to step up on that.
Yeah. Welcome to the new normal, Miriam.
That's it. Exactly. Welcome to the new normal.
Things will not go back to normal. We are here to establish it and help them figure it out. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. And if any questions, just reach out to us as usual, coaching@virtualc.biz. There's like 1 or 2 openings on Skip's peer group. Reach out, get on.
Awesome.
All right. Bye.